Did you know that just 2 simple words can completely change the way women see you? It might sound unbelievable, but when used correctly, they can transform how you interact with women and how they perceive you. These words aren't magic, but they hold a certain power, especially when spoken with confidence and purpose. In today's video, I'm going to break down how this straightforward phrase can make you instantly more attractive to women, why it works so well, and most importantly, how to integrate it into your daily interactions. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a game-changing tool that will set you apart from other men. But before we dive in, take a moment to support the channel. Hit that like button and subscribe. Doing this not only helps me create more valuable content for you, but it also signals to the algorithm that this video is worth sharing. Your support means the world to me, and it keeps me motivated to bring you insights that can genuinely improve your dating life. Now let's get started. Why most men struggle to spark attraction. One of the biggest mistakes men make when talking to women is being overly accommodating or indecisive. It's understandable. Most guys want to seem polite, easygoing, and lesson one agreeable. But here's the problem. Too much flexibility makes you appear unsure of yourself. You've probably heard or maybe even said things like, "We can do whatever you want," or, I don't know. You decide, while this might seem like a good way to keep things smooth and drama-free, it actually has the opposite effect. It makes a woman feel like you lack confidence. And direction 2 things that are absolutely crucial for attraction. Women are naturally drawn to men who know what they want. So when you constantly defer to her or avoid making decisions, you're subconsciously signaling that you're not the leader she's instinctively looking for, the 2 words that change everything. So what's the secret? What's the simple phrase that instantly shifts how a woman perceives you? The answer is, I want it might seem too simple to be effective, but trust me, when used correctly, it communicates strength, decisiveness, and leadership. Women are naturally attracted to men who take charge, and saying, "I want" makes it clear that you know what you're doing. Here's why this works so well. It shows confidence, it eliminates uncertainty, it positions you as a leader, it makes your intentions clear. Now, let's talk about how to use these words in real-life situations. To lesson 2, get the best results, how to use "I want" to attract women. This isn't about just randomly throwing "I want" into every sentence. It's about using it with intention. Let's break down some specific situations where you can apply this technique effectively. 1, when asking a woman out. Most guys ask women out in a way that sounds passive or unsure. Here's what a weak invitation looks like. "Hey, if you want, we could maybe grab a drink sometime." Compare that to this, "I want to take you out for dinner." This Friday, the second version is decisive and direct. You're not asking for permission, you're leading. And guess what? Women love men who take the lead. Now let's be clear, this doesn't mean you're forcing her into a date if she's unavailable or uninterested. That's totally fine. But by framing your invitation this way, you're signaling that you know what you want, and that's incredibly attractive. 2, when starting a conversation, a lot of guys struggle with approaching women because they're afraid of rejection. They overthink what to say and end up sounding hesitant. Here's an example of a weak approach. "Hey, I was wondering if maybe we could talk now. Let's apply the "I want" principle. I want to get to know you better. Let's talk. See the difference." The second version is clear and confident. Instead of tiptoeing around your intentions, you're stating them. Openly, women respect men who are direct because it shows that you're secure in yourself. 3, when expressing your desires in a relationship. Once you're already seeing someone, this technique becomes even more. Lesson 3, powerful. A lot of guys fall into the habit of always letting their partner decide everything. While it's good to be considered, constantly saying, "Whatever you want is fine," can actually make you seem weak. Here's a better way to phrase it. "I want to spend more time with you this weekend. Let's plan something fun together now." Instead of sounding passive, you're showing initiative. This tells her that you value the relationship and that you're willing to take charge in making things happen. Confidence versus arrogance. The fine life. Fine. Now, before you go overboard with this, I need to clarify something important. Confidence is not the same as arrogance saying, I want should never sound like a demand. This isn't about being controlling or disrespectful. It's about expressing your intentions clearly, while still being open to her input. For example, let's say you tell her, I want us to go out for dinner tomorrow. If she responds with, I can't tomorrow, have plans. A confident and respectful response would be no problem. How about Saturday? Instead, this keeps the conversation balanced. You're asserting what you want, but you're also being flexible. And understanding a woman will always appreciate a man who knows what he wants. But if you become rigid, demanding, or dismissive of her desires, you'll quickly come off as self-centered, and that's a major turn-off. The challenge, try this for 1 week. Now that you know the power of I want, it's time to put it into action. Here's my challenge for you for the next 7 days. I want you to use this phrase at least 5 times a day, whether it's at work, in casual conversations, or when talking to women. Start practicing this technique, and here's the best part. You don't even have to limit this to dating. You can use it in all areas of your life. Instead of saying, I guess I'll go to the gym, say I want to hit the gym today. Instead of saying, I might try that new restaurant, say I want to check out that new place for dinner. When you start saying, I want, with confidence, you'll notice an immediate shift in how people respond to you. They'll start seeing you as someone who is sure of himself, and that alone will make you more attractive. We've covered a lot today, but now it's up to you to put this into practice. Knowledge is useless without action, so start using I want in your daily life. Drop a comment below and tell me, how do you plan to use this phrase this week? Share an example of how you're going to apply it. And at the end of the week, come back and let me know what changed. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more game-changing insights. Let's keep growing together. See you in the next one. Have you ever found yourself wondering if you're surrounded by people who just don't seem to get it? Maybe you've noticed behaviours in certain women that leave you shaking your head, questioning their mindset, their decisions, or their way of looking at life. But here's the thing. Understanding these signs isn't just about pointing fingers. It's about protecting your own peace, avoiding unnecessary drama, and making better choices when it comes to relationships. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a clearer perspective that could change the way you approach your love life forever. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you're ready to unlock the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, and stick around until the end. Because what you'll learn today could just be the wake-up call you need. Let's get started. Just pretend you've met someone in a completely unfamiliar social setting. Being in her company makes everything seem perfect. She's beautiful and fun. However, little things start to pile up and you start to question her apparent intents. Also, intelligence is not what I am talking about. No, what we mean is the highly esteemed Stoic qualities of knowledge, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. According to Seneca, a prominent Stoic writer, the greatest obstacle to living is one. She thrives on drama. Expectancy which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. This suggests that our present decisions, especially regarding the people we associate with, might dictate our future. In particular, what are these signs that a woman is being naive? We may analyse each one separately. Signed are one she thrives on. Drama. Have you ever had a relationship that sent you on a wild roller coaster of emotions? The next minute, everything is fine, and suddenly you're in the middle of a fight over a late text message. As a result, you start to wonder if what makes it so challenging every time. If you hear someone enjoying causing trouble, you should be on the lookout. Some women, and let's be honest, some men have it worse than it needs to be. They crave disorder and find ways to cause it. Even when there isn't any, it's as if they can't go about their daily lives without feeling some kind of emotional pain. But the point is, A relationship isn't supposed to be a soap opera. An intelligent woman, on the other hand, seeks peace, not turmoil, because she knows that the weight of power is not to become furious about trivial things, but to be tranquil. Jump back to your own romantic experiences. Ever dated someone who couldn't stop finding fault? Maybe she'd get angry if you didn't respond to her text message within 5 minutes. On the flip side, she'd accuse you of not caring enough and start fights if you went out with friends. It hurts a little at first, but it gets emotionally draining after a while. Why does this happen? Because drama is a form of attention seeking. For some women, if no one is talking, then something is wrong with their minds. They're used to chaos and now find peace unsettling before you know it. You're ensnared in a never-ending cycle of broken hearts and broken promises, deceiving yourself into believe that's love. On the other hand, if you find yourself being consumed by her emotional tempests, it's wise to pause and ask yourself, is this really the life I want? As stated by Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic, the mind, not external circumstances, is within your control. You will find the power you need. Once you recognize this, a wise woman understands that love should be a haven, not a battlefield. If that person accuses you of wrongdoing when none exists, you may want to reconsider your connection with her. If you're thinking, wow, this sounds just like my last relationship. While watching this, please know that you're not alone. Everyone has been there. The key is to recognize the pattern and break out before it drains your power. I assure you, you're not alone. I want to know whether you've ever been in a relationship where the drama was superfluous. Share your story with me below. Sign number 2, she can't take responsibility right now. Let me paint a picture for you. You picture this. You're in a relationship where everything is going swimmingly until it doesn't. It could be a small argument or something more serious, like a breakdown in communication with loved ones. But instead of talking it out rationally, she jumps to conclusions and says, "It's not my fault. You ought to have been more wise. Have you heard of this location before?" If that's the case, you know how frustrating it is to work with someone who will always avoid doing their job. It's always someone else's fault, whether it's their parents, their ex-employer, or even you. But the reality is that if the other person can't take responsibility for their own acts, you and your relationship will never get anywhere. So let's be honest, we're all imperfect. Everyone makes mistakes. The ability to recognize mistakes, assess the current situation, and proceed is what distinguishes the intelligent from the foolish. According to Stoicism, understanding oneself is the source of true power. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them, said Epictetus, rather than trying to avoid making errors. The secret to a fulfilled life is finding ways to deal with them. But this naive woman, her victim mindset refuses to leave her side. No matter how bad things become, someone else is inevitably to blame. Staying around this type of person will lead to you being held responsible for things that were never your fault. Do you feel exhausted from it? Think about the relationships you've been in the past. Has somebody you're close with ever had trouble saying I was wrong? How did you feel when that happened? Feeling down? Are you thirsty, not valued? This is due to the fact that 2, she can't take responsibility. Having an accountability partner is fundamental to every healthy relationship. Having a partner who is willing to grow alongside us is much more appealing than being with someone who is constantly looking for someone else to blame. Responsibility, on the other hand, is a strength, not a weakness for a strong woman. She owns up to her mistakes, says she's sorry, and works to improve for the future. If you're looking for a life-altering event, discovering someone like that. Is it? You should exercise caution as a partner around someone whose lack of maturity manifests itself in their inability to take responsibility. Also, are you serious about wanting to be in a relationship where you're always the one to bear the emotional burden? Can you trust that the person you're spending time with will own up to their mistakes? Is it that everyone you ask for an explanation, always finds. One, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. And if you connected with the message of this video, press the like and subscribe buttons. Sign number 3. She values materialism over character. Is it your experience that partners in relationships seem more interested in what you can provide them than in getting to know you as a person? Maybe it seemed nice at first to spoil her, get her gifts and take her on romantic outings. Nevertheless, a change came later on, after deducting the expensive presents, lavish meals and excursions. You started to see that there wasn't much left if you've ever been in a relationship where one partner values material goods more than honesty and character. You could have experienced something similar. Trust me when I say this is a difficult road to go. At first, you might believe those are high expectations. You keep telling yourself things like, she just has good taste or she deserves nice things, but deep down, you know you're still not good enough. It doesn't matter how much you provide, she'll always find something bigger, better, or more expensive to request. And the worst part, she is never satisfied. When was the last time you were in a relationship where your worth was judged only by your bank account? As an example of how she compared you to others, she might have said, "Why can't we go on vacations like my friend Sarah and her boyfriend friend? If you truly cared about me, you would have purchased this for me." But the truth is that a wise woman knows that love is more important than material goods. She values characteristics like loyalty, emotional connection, and character more than material possessions or a fancy trip. The Stoics believe that happiness is an inward condition and not something that can be bought or bought with money. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Seneca sums it up nicely. Giving to a person who is always seeking more would never satisfy them with a woman who values integrity more than wealth. Your efforts will be much appreciated. She values the significance of the performer more than the act itself. When it comes to experiencing gratitude, ask yourself if the person you're with values you, or if you're just a means to a goal for them. Post a comment if you've ever suspected that financial considerations rather than feelings were driving a relationship. This speaks to a lot of folks. If you are finding this message valuable, please like and subscribe for further relationship guidance and Stoic wisdom. Sign her a 4. She constantly seeks validation. Right now, this is a big one. Did the people you were with constantly seek confirmation when you were around? Maybe you have told her the clothing was beautiful. Now, all she wants is another compliment. On the other hand, she is always posting to her social media sites in the hopes of receiving validation through the comments and likes. It might have a charming and appealing appearance. Initially, she just likes attention, and that's okay. But, deep down, that it's exhausting. You can't help but feel that there's never enough love and attention for her. A woman with low self-esteem would never stop seeking affirmation. She is looking for fulfillment elsewhere to meet her own wants. What exactly is wrong with that words of encouragement? Monetary gifts or praise will never be enough for her. Let your mind wander to a situation where you were prompted to show your commitment time and time again. Is this anything you've ever encountered? Someone may have said that you didn't message her enough, didn't post enough compliments about her online, or didn't do enough to make her feel special when you were there. But the truth is, true love doesn't require approval. All the time being touched, gaining confidence is an important part of the Stoic philosophy. Stop wasting time debating the qualities a good man ought to have. Famously said Marcus Aurelius, put out your best effort. The value of your worth, 3. She values materialism over character. Is not determined by the views of others, but by your own deeds. A confident and well-informed woman doesn't need anyone's constant validation, not even yourself. She knows her worth and the love you give her even when you don't tell her all the time. But this naive woman, she is never satisfied. What she really needs is a continual flow of public praise, social media likes and expressions of love, and the sad reality. It might drain your emotional reserves to the point where you feel like your actions have no impact. If you're experiencing any of the following and thinking, wow, this is exactly what I've been dealing with, then please know that you are most certainly not alone. Rather of being regarded as an equal, many people end up in situations where they are treated like a commodity. Please pay attention. The situation will only become worse unless you set limitations. Relationships should be a collaborative endeavour, not an individual one. Has anybody you've dated ever been in a relationship with needed constant affirmation from you because they lacked self-confidence? Leave a comment below to share your experience. Feel free to subscribe for more insightful videos and hit the like button. If this one makes you think about your own love relationships, sign number 5, she can't handle. Criticism is the feeling of constant suspense in a relationship, something you're familiar with. Consider the following scenario. You say something harmless like, hey, maybe we should try eating healthier, but she gets defensive, furious, and misunderstands. My words will resonate with everyone who has gone through it. Some women may find it impossible to cope with any kind of criticism. Even positive criticism, they react angrily instead of listening because they take criticism personally. Have you heard of this location before? I was thinking, maybe I need to be more careful with my words. But then I realised that no matter how gently you say things, the reaction is always the same: defensive, emotional, and occasionally manipulative. The next thing you know, you're attempting to maintain harmony by putting off difficult conversations. Then think back on your love life. Telling your sweetheart the truth has never seemed so difficult. When was the last time maybe you were trying to be honest and help her see things from a different perspective, but she was offended and rejected you anyhow? The foundation of every successful partnership should be mutual improvement. This can only happen if one partner is willing to listen to the other, learn from their expert experiences, and strive for personal growth. According to Stoic philosophy, in order to better oneself, one must be aware of their own inadequacies, because it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Epictetus: those who are resistant to criticism are destined to keep making the same errors. A wise woman understands that constructive criticism, such as recommendations for change, is never intended to be insulting. But this naive woman, she will take it personally and make you out to be the bad guy, no matter how much you simply want what's best for her. Trust me when I say it gets old really quickly. Does this kind of connection encourage growth? If your partner consistently rejects your suggestions, you may want to consider asking yourself that question. Or, am I stuck in my defensiveness and can't go past it in the event that you have been through something similar? Please do not hesitate to share your story. If this is making you reflect on your own relationships, hit the like button and subscribe for more open discussions about life and love. Signed, there were 6. She lacks self-discipline. A seldom discussed subject. Self-discipline is the subject of the following essay. Has a partner ever been that unpredictable in your relationship? Maybe she had grand aspirations. She spoke of wanting to start a business, become in shape, and travel the world when things became really serious, though she was the one who would make excuses. Have you heard of this location before? At first, it might not stand out when you think about it. At first, you could think she just needs some motivation, or I'll help her get there. But then you'll see that she continually falls short of her goals, from little commitments, like waking up at a sensible hour, to larger ones like developing her job. She just lacks the self-control to really do them. Think about your own romantic past for a second. In your relationship, when was the last occasion when you felt like you were making a unique contribution? If 4, she constantly seeks validation. Anything, you were the one who always planned, set goals, and remained committed, whereas she appeared to want to. Coasts make excuses and never really try achieving contentment in life. According to the Stoics, is all about mastering one's own mind and emotions. You must build up your life action by action and be satisfied if each one achieves its goal. Marcus Aurelius said, "His words provide a helpful model for the process of transforming dreams into real achievements. People can't escape where they are right now until it is present." Any astute woman worth her salt knows that the key to success is consistent. Words fail when compared to deeds. But this naive woman words are all that come out of her mouth. It could be draining in the end, even for those who thrive on progress and challenge. It's no picnic being in a committed relationship with a disorganized person. Attempting to go forward with them and then having them pull you back feels like it will never stop. Ultimately, you must choose between a partner who will encourage your development and one who would hinder it. Feel free to share your story if you've ever been in a relationship where you felt that you were the one putting in the most work. Like this video if you're having fun with it, and subscribe for more videos about relationships and self-improvement wrapping up the assignment. According to the ancient Stoics, these are the 6 signs of a naive woman. Making a determination is irrelevant here. The ability to detect toxic relationships, understand the warning signals, and take the necessary steps to avoid their harmful effects is crucial. Instead of surrounding himself with negative people, a smart man seeks out positive people who can encourage him to overcome his weaknesses. In addition, the difference between joy and sorrow and a love relationship could be as simple as making wise decisions. If you found this video thought-provoking, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it with anybody you think would find it useful. You don't have to be an expert in everything to be wise. Recognizing priorities is critical. Thank you for watching,